yes, I got more compost. And yes, I probably do have some sort of a weird compost addiction problem, but I just can't help myself. It's good stuff, man. Anyway, I'm gonna be putting this stuff down on the front, and I'm also gonna get more sand. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last week. The good news is I don't have to trug it up and down the stinking hill, so I'm hoping that I won't get like some weird heat exhaustion like I did last week. It's definitely cooler this week. It's still humid, it's still hot, but it's nothing like it was last weekend. So that's kind of the plan for tonight, is to unload this and get some sand. But I'm also gonna do one other thing. Hang on. So there is a fungus among us in my lawn. I have some dollar spot issues all the way around, mostly up here in the front, and I'll show you here in a second. But I used this stuff last year and it seemed to work pretty well, so I'm gonna give it a shot again this week. I am gonna mow it, but I wanna put it down, make sure it dries off, and then I will mow it tomorrow. And whenever you're doing a fungus treatment, remember, try to collect all the clippings so that you're not just leaving the stuff in there and causing more problems. The other thing to keep in mind is that I did put down a bunch of nitrogen a couple weeks ago, as you guys remember, and that's also a good way to get rid of fungus, because it actually pushes it out through just the growth of the grass. So I'm attacking this from two different fronts. I thought that the nitrogen would be enough, but obviously it hasn't been enough, so that's why I got this bad boy, and hopefully that will take care of that. So those are the things that we're doing this week, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it all in one video, but this and this for sure will get in a video, at least from an unloading standpoint and spreading out standpoint. So anyway, here we go, let's do it. That's all of the compost out of the back of the truck, and I didn't clean it completely out because it's all going to get mixed together anyway, but that's enough. It's at least light enough now that when I put a whole yard of sand in here, it's not going to bog down my entire truck. So I'll be back in a bit. All right, I'm back with the sand, and I kid you not, in the 30 minutes that it took me to get that sand and get home, the temperature has dropped considerably, and the humidity is basically gone. I'm not complaining. This is sweet. Now, I'm still gonna sweat. That doesn't mean anything, but hey, at least I'll sweat an ounce less, and I can take that. Anyway, time to unload. Was relatively tiring. Glad I got that done. The sand and the compost is fairly well mixed in. It's not perfect, but I tried to do that last week while I was spreading sand at the bottom of the hill. Did not go well. While I'm tired and my biceps are cramping a bit, tomorrow I can spread it. Now the good news is, like I said, it's just gonna be over here on the front, and so I'm not gonna be, carting it, halfway down my hill or all the way down my hill. It's not gonna be anywhere near as hard as it was last week, but it still work. So that's what I've got going on now. The next thing I'm gonna do is I need to get fungicide down on my lawn before it gets dark. So I still got a little bit of time, so I'm gonna get that done, but I'm gonna wrap this sucker up into another blue burrito. So here we go. Well, next step is the fungicide application. So I got this thing for a couple reasons. Number one, it seems like it is fairly all natural. active ingredients are rosemary oil, clove oil, peppermint oil. Kind of like the idea of not using some heavy chemicals to kill the fungus. Also like that it's pet friendly. We do have a little dog and she does get out into the lawn and I don't want her to get sick. So usually when I put something down that I think may be harsh, she ends up having to go somewhere else, which is a pain for us. It also says to make sure that you apply this stuff either early in the morning or after 4 o'clock. And since the weather changed today, it's perfect. So I'm gonna do that today. We're gonna get that down. And then tomorrow I'm going to scalp the lawn before I put down all the compost and sand, and then we should be in good shape. But for now, let's put this down. All right, so let me show you why I think I have dollar spots. It's fairly scalped, and you can tell that I scalped it pretty good the other day, and I'm gonna scalp it some more. But what it's not showing is, like, see all these rings, like right there, there, those types of things? That looks like dollar spot to me. And then also, you can see a bunch of the spots in there. Just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna put it down. I think it may be a combination of things, but I do think that I have dollar spot. I've been fighting this lawn for several weeks and thinking that I'm scalping. And while I am, especially this week, because of the fact that I couldn't get to the mowing because of all the rain we got, I think that just exacerbated the problem, especially the fungus issue. And that is why we're going to treat it today. Okay, well that's interesting. Not exactly what I was expecting to smell. I mean, I know I read the ingredients. It said peppermint oil, rosemary oil, and clove oil, but I didn't expect to smell that. So it literally smells like a mixture of peppermint and clove are the two big ones. And my wife and my daughter actually both agreed with me that it's mostly clove what they smell, and I smell the peppermint. So
it's a holiday on your front lawn.
I don't know if you heard that. My wife said it's a holiday on your front lawn. It actually, it's definitely minty fresh. So hey, it works out. I know I said I was going to make this into one video, but if you saw in the previous video, I actually went ahead and scalped this. And the reason why I split it up was mostly because of all the adjusting that I had to do to the height of cut on that reel mower. And it is a little bit involved. It's not hard. You have to be really more precise about what you're doing. Between that and doing the scalp of both here and in the back, I figured that would be its own little video. Since I have all of the compost and the sand laid out right here on the ground, and it's right next to this side of my driveway, I'm probably just gonna throw that out there. I'm not gonna sit there and cart it around. And then, but for the front, over in front of the house, I'm actually gonna cart it over there and move it around. So I'm gonna do a couple different things. I am gonna put it on somewhat thick, but not too thick. I am gonna use my leveling rake. It's nice and dry. We'll put it down, let it dry out a little bit more, and then we'll move it around. I do want it to be nice and level and neat back here or up here on the side and on the front. So we'll get to that. And then we'll also use our landscaping rake to move it around a little bit. But mostly I want it to be nice and level. But I want the main purpose of me doing this is that I want that compost in there. There is nothing better for this grass, in my opinion, than the compost. I think I showed it to you in the other video, but I'm gonna show it to you again. So this area right here, I accidentally scalped it the other day with my rotary mower because the wheel slipped off and went into the flower bed. And so what I did was I just took, when I was doing the compost on the back, I actually put some down and you can see how green it is. That's what's gonna happen pretty much with the rest of this. And like I said in the other video, it is kind of scary to scalp it this low, but it does wonders, especially when you put in some compost on here. In a week, this will be a completely different lawn. You'll see. that's it. I got that much left, which I'm gonna put down on the golf course to level it off. This the side, and then after scalping, this is what I put down. So it's kind of dark, and the iPhone video actually lightens it up quite a bit, but it's actually a lot darker than this looks. But it is level too, which is actually really nice. So stay tuned. We'll do the golf course tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow afternoon, or even Monday since it's Labor Day. Finish that all up there. That's pretty much it for what's left of the sand and the compost. I don't know if you guys can tell from the time lapse in the background, but my wife is pretty awesome, and she actually mowed the hill, which is the hardest part of my lawn to mow, and she did that without me really asking, and it's a pretty amazing lady to do that for me. I'll come back a couple days before I actually post this video just to see the progress on both the front and this area, and then we'll go from there. But for now, appreciate you guys watching the video. Really appreciate all the support that I've been getting. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And if you want to be notified of new videos, don't forget to hit that bell, and we will see you on the next one. Have a good one, everybody. Oh, and also happy Labor Day to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye. All right, wanted to come out here and give a quick update on what it's looking like out front. And it's actually recovering really nicely. Take a look at that. So I came out and did a quick mow last night. It still really wasn't ready, but you can see how nice that's looking. So I had a few comments where people were a little nervous for me that I probably scalped a little too late in the season. And I'm not gonna lie, I was worried about the same thing, but I think it's doing all right. Let's take a look at the side real quick. Yeah, this looks even better. I'd say we're in good shape. And then I'll show you the back real quick so you can take a look. Yeah, I raised the height of cut back here, and it looks really good. I'm really happy with the way that it's looking, even though I prefer it shorter, but it looks pretty darn amazing. And if you look at the putting green, it's almost completely recovered. When you get up close, I'm not gonna go down there because it's really wet, but when you get up close, you can see a lot of the compost. But man, I am very, very, very pleased with the way it's looking right now.